What's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 55 of the Core Podcast. I'm Kirby Downey.
I'm Jonny Harrison.
Oh, there he is. And today we got Daniel Herzberg joining us tonight. Hanging out, chatting about his CAD Monkey, life as a new kid, and what it's like to live near spooky places like Salem.
Near is now a very relative term.
It's the same state. Like, to what would be far for us really is actually just like around the corner. I was actually I was doing one of the user group meetings earlier today, and Betty was saying how one of the people that supports her user group is just a 3-hour drive away. And I'm like, Jonny, you're 3 hours away and you never visit me.
I visited you more than ever this year, you cheeky.
There's one user group for all of like Montana, but there's 37 in New England. We don't like long distances.
37 in New England.
Something like that.
That is a lot.
No, it's 8.
I mean, that's where Solidworks' head offices are, so it kind of makes sense. But then again, the first one that started was in Seattle, other side of the country.
Yeah, the first group. Eric's group.
Yeah. I mean, we used to drive 3.5 hours for pizza. It was really good pizza. Is it that good pizza, Todd?
I don't know.
I mean, I don't trust much of your food stuff because this whole, I don't know if you've heard about this. There's some like thing that people from, I don't know what, Nebraska, they like to dip their cinnamon buns in their chili.
Saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
I don't know. Level of Todd respect went down like half a notch.
Todd slander right here on the Core Podcast.
Although, you know,
I'm sure you're gonna give us a taste of it in Nashville, and I'm going to change my mind.
I mean, yeah, you know what? If he can hook us up with something like that, and we can try it out, well, then we can be the real judge. It's like the sour cream bagels.
Should have planned ahead.
Yeah, I'm sure someone will
to whip some chili up.
Maybe. Well, we'll have some hot sauce. Our plan is to have some hot sauce at 3D Experience World. Do you like hot food?
I'm like the medium chicken tikka masala, not the.
That's all right. Kirby's like, I struggle with a chicken coma.
Yeah. But we're gonna get the. I don't know if you ever watched Hot Ones.
No.
So it's a series on YouTube where this guy basically interviews celebrities and that stuff for their like new movies that are coming out and whatnot. But in between all the questions, they'll be eating extremely hot sauce that gets hotter and hotter as it goes. So Jonny and I decided we're going to do that. Have some hot sauce at 3D Experience World and basically have some and then do a CAD design.
I'm sure the shut-in engineers that have been stuck at their desks for hours a day, those are the real spice kings there.
Yeah. If anyone wants to join us, they can. Heather used to drive for 3 hours for good Chinese in New York when you lived in Massachusetts. You guys are driving far for food. You know that, like, here in the UK, we got a Chinese shop around the corner.
But Kirby, I have to tell you what it is showing. If your food game was better, I'd visit you more.
What do you mean my food game was better? You ate the challenge at the Bull.
Yeah, that was a good challenge, to be fair. I enjoyed that. Now you've reminded me, that is a good place.
Yeah, exactly. The Bull is great.
But the amount of food I had to eat that night, I don't think I can do it too regularly.
Yeah, we love a good road trip. We should plan a road trip.
But stick in your brain as soon as you've had them for the first time.
How far have you driven for food, Dan?
Probably driven for food? There's a place called Fire and Ice in this area, and they used to be kind of all over. And there's only one left. It's kind of a buffet, but you take all your raw ingredients up to this big circular grill, and they cook it for you. It's really cool. And there was only one left in the area. So when I was living on the North Shore, I came all the way down to Providence, which is 2 hours to go there. It's not a ton.
Madness. I can't think of any like long trip I've ever done for food.
No, we did.
I used to get annoyed when I had to drive 20 minutes to get pizza.
Yeah, pizza's different.
Yeah, That's a long distance. But speaking of dinner, you've been hosting a very fun event. Those that have been to Solidworks World, 3D Experience World.
Now we get some good for it.
The unofficial start of 3D Experience World.
I think we have to get rid of the un soon.
Yeah, you've nailed yourself as official now. My first two worlds, I don't know about it. Just blatantly doing my thing. Because I always arrived on the Sunday, and then I came early for Dallas, and then I was sat in Hooters when Luke messaged me and said, "Hey, come to CAD Monkey." I was like, "Oh, cool, where is it?" And he sent me a link to buy a ticket. So I bought that ticket probably an hour before I came in. When it came to Nashville the following year, Jonny and I were like, it was like at the airport or something, we just realized, cool, Johnny's like, "You got your CAD Monkey tickets?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure I do."
Nope.
Went through my emails for like an hour and could not find it when I realized I never bought the tickets.
I've told him numerous times. Just doesn't listen.
Since we're talking about your previous late ticket buying experiences, I assume you've got yours this year.
You assume wrong.
I'm looking at the list. You're not on it. Come on.
Dan, normally I'm top notch. Normally I'm straight in there, but this year I'm slacking.
Yeah.
Have you bought your tickets? I think I'm gonna wait until the end of the month.
It's not a
Words,
terrible.
we're both skint.
Well, I've got to buy Lego for Christmas.
This is true.
You basically pay to cook your own food. I've seen those kind of things, Welcome to our restaurant where you cook your own food. You might as well just stay at home at that point.
No, I understand it. It's an experience. Do you know what I mean? Dan knows what I mean, Kirby. You're just different, Kirby. You're built different.
Built different. So yeah, if you want to get tickets to CAD Monkey, there's a link there. I'll pop it into the description as well, but it's in the chat. How did CAD Monkey start out? Tell us this brainchild of yours, how it all began.
It's not even a brainchild. It's not like, ooh, I want to have an event. It was my... It must have been my second world, because I didn't know what I was doing during my first. So 2012, me and like 5 other people, Todd and Matt Lorano, and I'm going to have to remember who they all were. Just chilling out in Hard Rock Cafe. And
good place.
Yeah.
Good place.
And it was Saturday night. Like, I got there early because I wanted to check out San Diego, for a day. And it just sort of became a thing that people wanted to do over and over and over. Yeah, Michael was there, absolutely. Yep. And the next year it was 12 people, and then the year
was Jeff Murasola there? Because I heard he's got some stories.
Oh sure, yeah. He was the first one, but there's some. Once we get to Dallas, oh god, don't even.
Yeah, Mike was telling us about Jeff and him and Jeff getting really drunk in Dallas.
And doing the forced march around the city. I don't even know what they were doing.
That sounds great.
Yeah.
But I mean, so it started off, you just wanted to hang out before World.
It was just a hangout. And it became sort of, all right, everyone, show up at this restaurant at this time, and everyone pays their own way. It was small enough that I could do like, a private dining reservation. It was 30, 40 people. It worked out. Everyone paid their own way. We were all together. It was a great time. By the time we got to the first LA World, which was 2016, when was the first LA?
2017. That was the first World I went to, was LA.
Yep. By the time we got there, the combination of like the number of people we expected and just the cost of the city, no one would allow us to just do a reservation. It had to become a private event. So at that point, I'm like, all right, so now we're dealing with venues and deposits and tickets. I think the first year we used something called Tilt, which was like, if we get this much money for this event, then it tilts over and the event becomes real. So that was the first...
Kind of like crowdfunding.
Yeah, it was basically a crowdfund. So that was the first idea of tickets, and then we had it at Tom's Urban that year, which was a great space.
I've been there. It's awesome.
Fantastic. Yeah, it had that wall of taps. Remember that?
Yeah, I only went there because, like I said, I didn't know about CAD Monkey my first 2 years. Both of those were in LA. But I know of Tom's Urban because I heard there was a cool brew house there. And I was like,
That's true.
go get myself some beer.
think they
Which I
did-
actually only had Jack Daniels, I think.
I'm sure you didn't complain, did you?
No.
Yeah. So first LA, we were dealing with, venue rentals and all that good stuff. Second year, I think. Second LA, we didn't go to the same spot. Really should have pulled together my own history. But yeah, it got even bigger. It was kind of we figured out what we were doing at that point. We got GP to come in and chat with everybody. It was awesome. We had a karaoke room and a Nintendo Switch room.
Ooh.
That was at Dallas. That was
Dallas had a karaoke room and GP was
Dallas
running
was
around.
a karaoke room. Yeah, the second LA was PS 123. It was like a school theme almost. It was kind of cool.
Yeah, the Dallas is like I'm happy to say this, but like Jonny and I, we connected at CAD Monkey. That's where it all started.
Oh, really?
In a
So
weird
it's my
way.
fault.
Yes.
That was when we hit it off.
Yeah,
in
like
a weird way, and it worked.
There's been a lot of those connections, I think, over the years. Yeah.
yeah, Johnny was hanging out with Luke. Johnny flew over with Luke and that, and Luke just said to Johnny, "It's like, I've just invited Kirby. He's in Hooters. He's getting his ticket. He'll be on his way."
I mean, I just heard the word he's in Hooters, and I was like, right, this is my kind of guy. Tick. What next?
But I rocked up with a cowboy hat as well because I just bought a cowboy hat. I
course
was
you
just living the Dallas, the Texas lifestyle. I was loving it.
Don't tell me I did the same thing at my first World in San Antonio. Got back on the plane with my giant black hat. It was ridiculous.
Perfect.
And that was the year that I didn't know anybody. I didn't know what I was doing. It was my first time going. I walked around with this hat that I got at the rodeo that the Tuesday night event was at.
So this is one thing that I like about the CAD Monkey event, and something that Jonny and I got to really harness and experience. And in Nashville, obviously, Solidworks sometimes invites new people in, and quite often, like yourself, like me, we've all been there. We're the first time we're at World. We don't know anybody. And you manage to get your way into a group of people, and they show you around. They show you the ropes. So Jonny and I were there chilling, and Rachel basically says, "This is Michael Bridges."
Michael, my God.
Michael
What a
was
guy.
so excited to be there. He was just over the moon. Rachel helped him get there and that. But he was so over the moon with it. Rachel says, "Hang out with these guys and you're going to have the best time."
And he did.
So, yeah, we're just like, cool, you got your tokens, get these drinks, because if you get these drinks, you're going to have a bad time. Do this, and we'll show you where we're going afterwards. So we went onto Broadway afterwards, and we hung out in Broadway and that. We never saw Michael for 3 days after that.
This was the Saturday after CAD Monkey, wasn't it? It was crazy.
The Saturday
And-
after.
Saturday of CAD Monkey.
But
yeah.
it is a great place to meet people and just get into that circle, because I feel like that's the scary part of going to Worlds with not knowing anyone is how do you get involved? How do you get into these circles? And CAD
hoping
Monkey
we
is the
can-
first port of call for a lot of people.
Yep. I'm hoping we get a lot of veterans, but also a lot of first timers.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to get the word out a little more than just word of mouth this time around.
The Champions program is perfect for that, because I'm sure like the Champions program started, kind of just at the start of COVID. So you've got an audience there of people that are probably going to, a lot of them will be attending, that you can actually tap into and get some new people.
Yeah,
I
I gotta-
got user groups in that.
One of those calls one of these days so I can pitch it.
Good.
Yeah, I mean, just I'm sure Matt can will help you out. He's just as hard to get hold of as Rachel was. So he's a busy man, but I'm sure he'll be happy to help promote your CAD Monkey. I think pretty soon he's got a champions meetup soon. But
Friday.
yeah, it will be a good place for new people to meet up.
Excellent.
Sure. Kirby,
The tasks, this sounds like a challenge we got to do. The task was to start at the end of the taps and work your way to the other end.
I don't know. I'm looking at this year's venue, mate, and it's bringing back some memories.
Isn't it great?
We've been here before, Kirby. Do you
Yeah,
remember? Do you remember
This is the
last time we
venue
were
that
here?
the CSWE event was at last time.
We went there before the CSW event. I can't remember.
We did.
That was for your birthday.
Yeah, and do you know what I'm looking at? I'm looking at a picture of the bar, and I can remember the exact spot I was stood in when you bought me the worst shot I've ever had in my life.
So Johnny's birthday is usually around World. It should be again this year, right?
No, I'll be in the UK for my birthday this year.
Nice. When's your
World
birthday?
is a year
Let's
later.
hope
Do
you're
you remember,
here.
Kirby? It was just here.
Yeah. Basically, it was Johnny's birthday. We had a few to drink already. We spent the morning at Jack Daniel's, drank there, and carried on for the day. So by the time the evening came and we were there, it was a Sunday night. I went to the bar and I was like, "Get this man anything. It's his birthday."
God, they did me absolutely dirty.
And the barwoman was just like, "Okay, cool. What do you like?" I'm like, "Your choice. You do it." Johnny. I thought it looked great. Johnny swears by it. It was
like
terrible.
Some Harry Potter thing. They went like, it felt like they went like into like the Gringotts Bank and came out with this old bottle of God knows what that had been down there 5 million years.
Wow.
It was horrible.
Yes, they've got pinball machines. I think it'll be a fun place to like really game with people
Yeah.
and hang out and have a couple of beers.
So this is the part that makes finding a venue so tough. There's 800 bars in Nashville, obviously. I'm not going to choose it unless it's got something better than just drinking. It's
Yeah,
gotta
'cause-
have a game room. It's got to have a karaoke room. It's got to have.
We've got this problem with like work events is that people don't want to just go and drink. They want to do something, have some sort of experience, do something different, not just go to a bar and drink, which is what we're doing for our Christmas party.
That's what I'm doing mine as well. Nicely put, Kirby. You've just ruined the entire point of your spiel.
No, but it is fun to be able to just hang out and do something else. The one in Dallas where a bunch of us just raided a room and we hung out for the rest of the night in a room just singing really crap karaoke.
Oh, and it was bad.
I don't know. It was beautiful.
It was bad but beautiful at the same time. I remember I was trying to sing metal with a cowboy hat. I'm sure I've got videos somewhere of that.
If you don't, I will.
But I mean, since the last World that you attended in person, lots has changed for you, Dan.
So much.
So, like,
Related and otherwise.
yes. So obviously with Atlanta, you were originally planning it without having to be there, and that all got cancelled. Are you going to be attending this year?
That's the plan. Absolutely. I really don't have a choice, do I? This is not the kind of event that you do.
It's like, oh no, I guess I have to go to World.
Yeah. What a drag, man. Sorry.
Yep. Question is still up in the air about who's paying for it, but I'm going.
That's excellent. It's going to be good to hang out with everybody again because it's been what? It will be 3 years.
It'll be 3 years. Yeah.
Two isolation worlds is enough for me. Even though like this last one, Jonny and I had good fun hanging out in that room and chatting shit. But it'll be good to be in person to do it.
You know what else?
Are you bringing little baby Herzberg with?
I think so. That's also up in the air. But if we have the right amount of support and if some of the expenses get covered, then I think we will.
Yeah, you need to have a chat with Dan. Other Dan.
Yeah, I mean, that's not who I'm waiting on, but all else fails. Might have to.
No, I'm sure Dan can figure something out. He'll pull something out of out of his little hat, he always pulls it. Like, it's also going to be the first time for most of us to meet Dan and
That's true. Yeah, he came on
Matt Clegg and that.
after
I'm
March.
I'll try and convince Rachel to come, because that would be
really?
great.
How's she doing?
She's good. She's coming to London in January for work. So we're trying to mash. She's currently she works for a company that does VR sketching and concepting. So we're trying to figure out a way how we can mix our worlds together, which will be quite interesting. So we're going to do kind of like a sort of user group meeting / meeting event at their offices in London. So it'll be interesting. Like, Rachel was really kind of always trying to do something different, and that's how she got me involved, because I was doing something different with Solidworks, stuff that they didn't really want being shared. Yet on their social media they released a video me showing off a rocket launcher, which is something they were like, no, we cannot do that. So it's quite interesting. For it's been 6 years since she got hold of me. That's changed a lot. They've started to realize that the maker community are just as important, and I feel like it's more important for the future of engineering and CAD and getting inspired to get into that world.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, most of the stuff on your shelf there is just nerdy stuff. It's like you said, that was all the stuff that you've made over the year.
Oh, definitely not all. No. This is the stuff that's not good enough to display in the rest of the house.
What have you got there? I'm making you big so we can see.
Let's see. I've got
Han Solo blaster.
This part of this year's Halloween costume.
Oh, very nice.
I started doing a collection of like Halo stuff, gear.
Halo's always good.
Yep. Little Among Us dudes. The JWST, the James Webb Space Telescope.
Yeah, that was a very nice print, that one.
Yeah, I'm happy with this one. It folds. It actually folds up into the configuration it launched with. Yeah.
I like 3D prints that can do more than just sit there and look pretty.
Yes, even though that's all they use.
I mean, it's the same with like a lot of the Lego that I have. Is the ones that can, like, my favorite are the droids where I can move little things and their heads bobble around. It's great.
Yeah, this is the one Lego thing on the shelf. This little droid guy.
Yeah, no, I actually don't have that one. Johnny's actually got it.
Dude, he's over there.
And you got is that a little collection of helmets, mini helmets?
We've got the helmets.
Game of Thrones.
No, so couple. I think the Halloween 2020 and 21, because we didn't, have a great place to show off the costume in 2020. Skyrim. There's a really great helmet out there that doesn't fit on this shelf, and so I was the dragon slayer. My wife was the dragon, and this was her dragon egg.
Smart.
Halloween candy that nobody wants.
That's still sitting. I don't know how that is still sitting there. That would have been
That's
eaten.
willpower.
Because it's like it's the bad stuff. It's like lollipops and taffy.
There's no such thing as bad candy.
I was going to say,
Fair
man, I
enough.
wouldn't survive here.
It's the reason why the British have bad teeth.
Yeah.
Yeah, you invented taffy, right?
And you got the Saturn V there at the back.
I've got the Lego Saturn V. I just actually printed a wall mount, so it's not hanging out on the floor getting knocked over by a baby anymore.
Oh, that's cool. I've got a for my one, I've got it on just the standard little blue sideways stand. It's on a shelf over there, but I've also got the lunar lander.
That's nice. I want that.
And then I've got the International Space Station. And then on another shelf, I've got the big space shuttle.
So this was downstairs with the space station, and I was trying to put together the shuttle that got taken apart years ago. But then this thing got knocked over by the kid so many times that it had to come up to a different spot, so we don't have a station.
is it that detrimental? He's like, oh no, my Lego broke. I guess I'll have to spend a week building.
No, it's surprisingly well built, I'll say, this thing.
That's how I felt about it as well. Like, as soon as you get those, like, as you're building, it feels very flimsy. You're kind of like holding this in while you're clicking that in. But like, as you get it in, it's solid. It's nice and sturdy.
Yep.
Like, you couldn't really swing it around, but it's not going to fall apart in your hands.
Yeah. Do you know the secret of this set?
The piece count is the year that they landed on the moon.
There's 1969 pieces.
You guys are true Lego nerds.
Yes. You know,
I've got to get the actual Lego count. Have you seen the Lego Eiffel Tower?
Yes. It's like 4 feet tall, isn't it?
Yeah, stupid big, but looks great. The part count on that is quite interesting as well.
No.
Probably hear my dogs going bananas in the background.
Oh, yes.
They're having a great time. They absolutely love the snow. How does your dog deal with the snow, Jonny?
What, mine that doesn't like the cold? Dude, we have to put a coat on him in like the summertime. Never mind now. He just like point blank refuses to go outside. You got to push him out the door. He's like back in as fast as humanly possible.
So, largest Lego set ever made, and it's got 10,001 pieces.
That's the largest?
Well, tallest.
Okay.
The largest in terms of piece count is the world map, but a lot of Lego fans don't count it because of the way those Lego dots art things work.
Yeah, it's just a mosaic.
I mean, it's really cool. This comes with 11,000 pieces, but you have so many extras because you don't use it because it depends on how you build it. So, for example, with the Star Wars Lego art, or these ones, where you've got a choice of which one you want to build, you can choose one of the three. See, this one's got a lot more red. This one doesn't have much red. You know, where's the blue for this? So you end up with a pile of other bricks that don't really get used, where with this, it's almost every piece gets used. But do you know what the one extra piece is?
For the Eiffel Tower?
Yeah.
The flag?
No, it's the little orange brick separator.
Oh, they count that?
So yeah, the little brick separator that comes with it is...
So they count all the extra pieces too then, don't they? The little onesies?
No, they don't count the extra pieces. But yeah, it's a really interesting set, and I've been looking at it a lot. But it to me, it uses such interesting part uses. Like this curve here is a roller coaster track.
Oh, nice.
So, and where is it? These little bends over here are sausages.
I like
those are bucket handles. So interesting part use, but for a lot of people, like most of the pieces are just these grey same studs, and there's literally they make 2/3 of it is like 3 parts is 2/3 of that part count. So that's very good for people that like to collect for reselling bricks.
Have you seen
I just need a lot of white because I'm doing Hoth.
Kirby, who's the guest? Come on.
But I see you also got Cotsworth in the corner there from Fallout.
Oh yeah, I do. He's over here. I grabbed this guy. This is the one I'm, finishing wise and sanding wise. It's the one I had.
That's Mass Effect, isn't it?
No, that's Halo.
Halo, quite close. I mean, I've never played either.
It's the first one I had the patience to actually sand down so it looks smooth. So I'm happy about that.
Yeah, we're not good at sanding either.
Yeah, we always try to fuse it, trying to avoid the sanding. But one thing I've really found, especially if you are promoting the stuff that you're making in pictures and photographs and that stuff, that hides a lot of the layers and that stuff. And the way I always believed when I was doing a lot of prop making and that is, you get people who, like for example, Luke, who will spend hours and hours and hours getting that perfect finish. Mostly because he's casting most of the time.
Yep.
But the way I see it is that, this is what you can get as a result of sticking it on a printer, pulling it off, and spray painting it. This is what you can get away with the bare minimum. And if people can be blown away by that, and then they discover finishing, and they have the patience for that, they could. I feel like the entry point for making and designing things and making things for yourself with 3D printing is much easier.
Yeah. My problem is, like, I follow the guys who make entire suits of armor, and they sand it down to like the highest polish you can get, and I'm like, oh, why can't I do that?
I mean, you can. Like,
that's what I'm comparing myself to.
I had to make a guy at work had printed this little like D&D house thing that he was going to give as a gift to a friend, but he was going to give it as plain plastic, grey, because it was printed on the HP MGFs. I was just going to give it to him like that. And I was like, no, you've got to paint that up. He's like, oh, I don't know how. I was like, okay. So over 2 lunches, I sat down and painted it. And quite honestly, I was quite blown away with what I was able to achieve. And it was all from watching all those videos. And when I just sat down and painted, I just knew what to do. I knew what I needed to do to achieve a certain thing. I never looked at it and thinking I can do that. I just did it, and I was happy with the results in the end. So it just shows that doing those, just kind of watching those videos, and then one day just taking the leap just to jump into it, it worked quite great. This is what I ended up painting, is this little hut.
Oh, that's really nice.
Oh, that was nice.
And it was just really simple. I just knew I needed a straw color for I needed some green moss for the brickwork, a darker browny red, and I put that together. And that's from watching people like Adam Savage and those kind of folks. And yeah, I was quite happy with the results.
That's awesome.
So don't be afraid. Just take the leap. It is exciting, but for me, I don't have the patience to make it perfect.
Yeah. Not my forte.
That some of the people do. But I mean, you made the trip out to Salem. I think it was in Salem to go and see the Hocus Pocus set.
Yeah, it was not in Salem, actually. This time around, Salem did not want them filming there. So it was actually filmed in Rhode Island. So it's closer to where I live now, whereas Salem was closer to where I live.
Okay. Well, that's the beauty of movie magic. Like the new TV series Wednesday was completely filmed in Romania.
Yep.
That's cool.
Yeah, they used the studio out there and they used the castle out there. But how close did you get?
Not so. In 2 different ways, not very close. In the first way, it's roped off. You get to watch from afar. It was a pretty cool set. They eventually set it on fire for one of the scenes, so that was pretty cool. But in another sense, I was supposed to be an extra in that movie, and then I wasn't.
Oh dear.
Yep. I don't know how they choose people, but they basically were like, all right, we might be filming on this day, we'll let you know. And then they said, oh, we're actually filming a different day, we'll let you know when that day is. And then I never heard anything else, which is, I think, the nice way of saying we don't want you.
Yeah, I think it's just so much going on with that kind of thing. I see Jeff is back, ready to...
Jeff! Wow, look at
Jeff,
that picture.
what stories do you have from Dan from back in the day at CAD Monkey? He was telling us some bangers with Mike last week. It was great.
He was cracking on in the chat like nothing last week, yeah.
But like, after seeing the set and seeing all that stuff, and then watching the movie and actually seeing like the house and the actual village and that, it's quite like, while we were watching it, I went back to look at all your photos, just to kind of like see all the little bits, and it's quite crazy how different they make it look on film.
For sure, yeah. This was like the flashback set in 16 whatever Salem. And they did a great job. Like you could see all the Tyvek on the back of the houses, the parts they weren't going to shoot. And then, the fronts were meticulous. It was awesome.
Because you were in LA in 2017, obviously, where we had the special event at Paramount Pictures.
Yes, the rain event.
Yeah.
Forevermore known as like the soggy party.
Yeah, mine was sit in a wheelchair and have food brought to me party.
Right.
He's an idiot if you didn't know.
Oh no, we did.
Yeah, we've all had silly moments at Worlds. Jonny, what is yours? You tore a door off almost off its hinges.
What door?
Into the event hall for Rachel.
Look, it was needed. It had to happen. We'd been stood there for half an hour waiting for someone to open the door, so I opened it for them.
Okay.
He basically tore the maglock off. See, Jeff says you look like he took a shower.
Yeah. Jeff offers really helpful life advice on Twitter if anyone needs it.
We follow him.
Oh, yeah, all the time. I mean, let's see what his latest advice would be. I mean, we had a lot of fun with Jeff hanging out, and we're trying to convince him to come to World. But his excuse is he doesn't work in it anymore. Jeff, I don't use Solidworks in my professional life. I don't, and I'm going.
I'm actually a big fan of Jeff's latest tweet, his retweet that he's done.
What did he do this time?
That's good. It's good for us anyway.
More professional than us.
His latest tweet, if you go to his profile, is actually a retweet of our tweet. So I'm happy.
There we go. And then can I retweet his retweet of your retweet?
Oh yeah, get all the retweets.
And I've got 3 accounts I can retweet from.
Oh
yeah, we have our fair share.
Yeah.
I mean, I find trouble just to manage the one, and that's just my personal one.
Yeah. I try and be better, don't I, Kirby? But I'm still slacking.
So I pulled up an album of some of the stuff I've printed in the last couple of years. If you want to take a peek,
yes,
go for it. This is your forum. You can show anything you want.
Anything? All right. I do children.
Yeah, anything. YouTube already knows this.
I've got a we've done half an hour. It's good. Yeah. I've got a sound bite for it as well.
We're now the
Welcome
core.
To the core after dark.
Beat me to it.
We got to stop using that. Heather's going to start charging us royalties soon. The amount that gets played.
Well, don't give her the idea. That's the problem, Jonny.
Am I sharing? Did I do it?
Boom. There it is.
Yeah. So this is one of my favorite things. I printed these for my wedding back in the day. I designed and printed these bow ties and pocket squares. And you can actually see in my profile picture almost anywhere what it looks like on. Although it looks like my YouTube profile picture is still super old. But yeah, so there's one in the jar right here. What else?
Brad Media has joined us. How you doing?
Brad is going to be my best friend soon, one of these days. Brad's hosting an awesome event. July? I forget the date. June or July?
Oh, is he doing his Iron Swag?
He's doing Iron Swag, and he's gonna. Well, I don't know if I'm allowed to say yet. Is it still a secret?
Yeah, is it a secret? Can we spill the beans? Not the chili beans. Now Dan is threatening people.
I know your secrets.
Ooh.
June, Iron Swag, 2023.
Yep. And can I tell them where the last stop is?
I'm guessing by you.
It's Croatia. No.
I was going to be like, that's...
For a second there, I was like, oh.
Can we go?
There's going to be some hellish saddles.
It's going to be easy for you. Yeah, it's going to be riding up to Boston in June, which is a gorgeous time of year. So we're going to have a lot of fun in June.
Yeah. I mean, when you're going to be doing cross country, as in like left to right, that's cool.
Ooh, yeah.
That is really cool.
You like that?
Jonny, what skull is that on the left, Jonny?
I'm gonna go with it's from Pokemon.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, but what Pokemon skull?
Oh, come on, dude. You know I don't know that. You're an absolute beep.
Does Kirby know? Come on, put your money where your mouth is.
Kirby will.
Well, considering I have it tattooed
It's
on
on
my
his
arm,
arm.
it's a Cubone skull.
Do you? Nice.
Trip to Boston in June? I mean, if Dan's paying. Not Dan Herzberg.
No.
Solidworks Dan.
I like how Stream Dan was quick to say, no, not me. No.
No.
He's like, I don't like them that much.
Oh, did you paint those?
I painted them. I did not model them.
Yeah, because I was wondering if that was done with multicolor. But that's really cool. I like the Pikachu. The just the little red cheeks.
Yep.
It's just
Good news. Kirby.
chef's kiss. I like it.
Not the best print settings you can see, but from far away they look great.
We've had an unofficial invite, Kirby, but
Oh,
not from Dan. So I
we
think
can
it's
crash
from
here.
also.
Apparently we're hosting. All right. First come, first serve.
I say Brad can host can do the barbecue, and then we can argue which barbecues are better. One's from Michael Lord or one from Brad, or one from South Africa.
Yeah, right. This is not my best look, but this is early COVID when the director of Mass General Hospital was like, "You guys have printers, make masks, go." And it was like the dumbest thing anyone had ever said, because everyone got into this idea of printing masks that, would do nothing. Especially this one has a valve on the side. Like, we've learned so much since then, huh?
I mean, I helped out with the face shield stuff.
Face shield makes more sense. I did the same, and I did ear savers for the loops.
Yeah, what eventually happened was that when the government said they were going to start supplying, and meant that anybody that was trying to do it at home legally couldn't do it anymore.
Well, if you want the real story, it was when the government realized they could make a shitload of money off it.
Yeah, that.
Brad's always down for some barbecue.
I mean, if you're gonna
Brad
go
out does a many day.
North Carolina, sure. Don't get barbecue here.
You're not a fan of barbecue.
No, I love barbecue, but Boston is not known for its barbecue.
What is it known for?
I think beans and molasses.
Isn't that the English? The English love a good, beans
Right.
on toast.
That's true. Yeah, we got rid of it for breakfast.
I mean, you are New England. The
Yes,
the start
newer
of
is always better. As Barney Stinson said, newer is always better.
there we go. Clam chowder.
Got lobster rolls. God
God,
loves his lobster
Absolutely
rolls.
butchered the accent as well.
Pack
The-
the car.
The only place that I know the accent from is Ted and Family Guy.
Sure.
Mark Wahlberg.
All of us talk like that.
Yeah, that's what
Clearly.
we all think. So we're not changing it.
Yeah, tea.
Boston Tea Party.
Yep.
I learned about that in school.
I mean, we're known for our parties, really.
Do you still throw tea in the river every year?
Only when the queen is in town. Oh, wait.
Oh.
That ain't gonna happen. Seems unlikely to happen again for a long time.
Not for a while. Do you guys throw any baguettes in the harbor on Saturday?
Oh, yeah.
I love Jesse.
That ref was the biggest French fan. He was the 12th player.
I've heard.
So that's a Skyrim helmet on the left.
I'm
Yep.
awarding comment.
Got the mini version over here.
Boba Fett, RoboCop, Iron Man, Stormtrooper, Fallout. That one's got me.
This one's hard to see without the coloring. It's over here.
Ah, okay, Daft Punk.
Daft Punk. Yep. Where was it? And
That's a scuba helmet.
Yeah, that's the scuba helmet from before.
Yeah.
This is an ODST, the Halo guy. You guys
Oh,
will-
okay. That's really cool. That's a very nice little collection. That's quite a nice, simple print.
The stand is not printed.
Isn't it?
This guy over here. That's just 2x4s and dowels. So I had to search the internet for helmets, and a good chunk of them were, I could only find like wearable versions, and I needed them to be solid. So I had to like learn Mesh Mixer, get the helmets all like solidified with no opening at the bottom, and then cut out a 3/4 inch hole that my dowel here would fit into, and scale everything to be the same, like chin to head. It was a fun little project, and it's not full yet because I moved some downstairs, as you saw in the picture with the Cubone. So I've got two spots, I think.
At 3D Experience World in Feb, there's going to be like a maker zone.
Nice.
And Brad and Luke are going to have like a little place where they're going to be doing makers workshops, where you can hang out and make stuff and plan it. I think the plan is to print small like miniature helmets and stuff, and then you can do casting with it and learn how to do casting and that stuff.
That's interesting. I like
And
that.
then you get to make your little thing and take it home.
I've got a desktop CNC down in the garage that isn't getting a lot of action. I need someone to teach me how to use that.
I mean, Brandon's usually in the chat, and he's got a bit of experience with that. He's even driven it into his arm.
Yeah, I was
So
going to say,
he-
you experienced cutting his arm with it.
What?
Yeah. But I mean, that I feel like that's good experience because he definitely knows not what to do.
Yeah, don't reach through it when it's running.
Yeah, that'll do. Oof.
I think he was trying to adjust the piece while it was running,
Yeah.
and then a caught and just went into his arm.
10,000 RPM.
Yeah.
Yes,
Don't
maybe
do
I
that.
don't need to learn that after all.
Just if there's a problem, just stop it. It's
Yeah, he stops your friend at this point.
Yeah.
Johnny, have you got your travel insurance?
Let's pretend yes. No, I think I'm still covered at the minute.
CAD Monkey
Have
Dinner
you,
first,
Kirby?
then insurance.
Yes, I've learned my lesson, and I'm making sure that.
Kirby has like an auto renew policy now since he went to America without and broke his ankle.
Right.
Learn my lesson.
The one time you can't be doing that.
It was the first time that I got invited out by Solidworks to World, and it was a Monday night.
Left his mark.
Yeah, Jonny and I. Johnny's my permanent buddy now.
Yeah, we have a buddy system.
It's true.
One of us gets shit faced each night.
Right. You tie your shoelaces together when you sleep so you don't get separated.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, Johnny locks himself out of the room.
Dude, after I carried you home in Nashville last time, you better shut up.
I helped you get home too.
Yeah, true. You
After
led me
the
to
special
corridor
event.
and left me. And then when I went into the room, put everything down, kicked my shoes and socks off and thought, I'll go and get some ice so I can have some cold water. Shut the door behind me and went, shit.
Shoeless Joe out wandering the halls of the hotel.
It wasn't even funny. I had to get security and all sorts of shit.
So yeah, because all of Johnny's belongings was in his room. He had to be escorted back up to his room by security so that he can go in, get his ID, and prove he is who he is.
I mean, imagine if I was just some shoeless drunk who just picked a room number.
This is
and
definitely
walked into
mine.
someone sleeping.
God. I remember I don't know what the event was, but some it might have been World. I don't even remember. Some drunk was banging on the door at 3 a.m. saying, "Get out of my room."
That wasn't Nashville, was it?
I mean, yeah.
Was it Dallas? Was it Mike? Was it Mike in Dallas? Because apparently Dallas does something to Mike. Because the 2 times he's been there, he's got plastered. And the one time was with me, it was great.
Because everything's
It was
bigger.
that night.
Even the
Yeah.
glasses.
Yeah, we were walking back from
Gillies.
from the user group special event thing, and Mike was just going off. He was just talking and talking and talking and talking, and but like just walking this way and then this way. I'm trying to make sure he doesn't walk out into the traffic. And then we got into the bar at the hotel, and I was just like, "There's the bar. Good luck." I'm gonna go find the credit card. And you guys were there, Jonny. You were hiding away in the
me,
corner.
Luke, and Karen and everyone. We just finished a nice, civilized meal, and in walks Mike and Kirby. Absolutely shit-faced, the two of them. But no, Mike's good people. Good fun, for sure.
We're all good people.
We're all good people. The SolidWorks people are all good people.
Some of us are gooder than others.
No comment.
Jeff. No, he's a lot of fun. Jeff.
Jeff's a hell of a lot of fun.
What I like about Jeff is he says how it is.
I've awarded him comment of the night, Kirby. Did you catch it earlier?
Clam chowder and lobster rolls. That was terrible.
Rowls?
Rolls.
What's a rowl?
Hold on. Jeff's commenting from 2 accounts. Look at that. Thank
I hope
you.
you subscribed with
I
two
hope
accounts.
you've subscribed with both of them. Like, imagine Halloween as a kid with a 3D printer.
Yes, I am so looking forward to that part. He's gonna learn instantly. Like
Oh man.
before he can talk, he's gonna be clicking.
Like, it's such amazing that, like, he's going to grow up with all of this technology around him, and it's just going to be like, Dad, I really don't want a 3D print. I want to go play my PlayStation.
You're like, no,
I
sit down.
don't
I'm
want
gonna
to see
teach
your
you.
boring
Make your
printer.
own fun right here.
The old pic was from SolidWorks 2010.
He changed his picture.
2010.
It's only one account.
Sounds like we're not gaining a subscriber, Kirby. That's all I'm hearing.
But what picture is this one with a lion? Tell us more about that.
That's to make you feel at home, Kirby.
So when you gonna buy me some pizza, bro? Have you ever played with lions?
What, like up close and personal? No.
Yeah. You haven't?
I mean, I've been on like safaris and stuff, but not touching distance, if that's what
I
you
broke
mean.
the matrix. I'm trying to find Jeff's picture. It's just tiny.
Yeah, it breaks the matrix when you do this. It goes,
If I pop it up there, you can see it in your screen.
Sure. Yeah, it's a lion.
Oh, I went for walks with lions in Zimbabwe. Me and my wife for our honeymoon, we walked with cheetahs. And that was a lot of fun.
That's awesome.
That looks like a very skew.
Yeah, here's my least favorite print ever.
Ooh,
My first dead hot end.
oh, it's not supposed to point that way.
No. And so, this printer is great. I bought this printer at World from Cindo, on a huge conference discount. It was awesome. But when when your nozzle wears out, not even the hot end, when your nozzle wears out, you're buying this entire thing again.
oh, nice.
That's my
What print was that? Is that a MakerBot?
No,
that's a
Cindo.
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 I don't know if I'm gonna be able to show you.
They're always a world.
The first Cindo, yeah. The Korean printers, they're good guys. But,
Yeah, because I know MakerBot tried to do that as well, where it was kind of just like a modular thing. This is what I like about the kit printers like Prusa and that stuff, is that
Yeah.
whenever someone wants to get you into 3D printing, I always tell them, get yourself a kit. Because with a kit, while you're building it, you're going to learn so much about your printer and how to fix it and how to spot the errors.
a kit like an Ender.
Yeah, Ender or Prusa. Prusa's probably the better. That's big.
But yeah, it's got this magnet here and these 2 pinholes, so it just clicks right in. The later versions, you don't have these connectors. They have like contacts. So I'm a fan. Just I wish it was a little more replaceable.
Yeah, like you this is where a lot of people started to not like Ultimaker when they moved to the Ultimaker 3 and became less of a kit do-it-yourself type of printer to a printer that
You read in the comments as well.
yeah. That's what she said, your hot end is burnt out.
I'll have to remember that one, Michael.
Yep.
Nope, I'm not going there. Nope.
Where's the After Dark thing?
We got we've actually got a recording of Jeff. See if we can feature him
We
again.
do. Jeff's is good. We need one of you,
For a
Dan.
$25
this year.
donation, you
100.
can help.
You
know what? Do you know what Jeff is like?
What is
We
it?
need to get more promo voices. So at World, we're gonna have a little table in the Hive.
We are. We
Where-
can say that now. We've booked flights.
Yeah, book flights. We're definitely going. Where we're going to be staying overnight, that's still a question. So I might bring a sleeping bag. We're going to have a
I'm
little,
back in the tent.
yeah, we're going to have a little spot where we're going to have a podcast set up so anybody can hang out. So anybody that, like for yourself, Dan, and anybody in the chat wants to join us and come and just hang out and chat shit,
I'll be
we're
there.
going to be there all day. If you want to try some hot sauce nuggets and a CAD challenge.
Has anyone picked their sessions yet?
Yes and no. I couldn't pick my own session because it automatically picks it for me.
Wait, what do you mean?
I haven't picked any sessions. I'm presenting a session, so when I try to register for my own session, I just got to bump those numbers up. I couldn't. It was too smart.
Do you want me to sign up,
Well,
Kirby?
Brad's got a spare room in his hotel.
Spare room.
The catch is you have to deal with him. I mean, if you've got moonshine, that'll be a good deal. What's that you got there? That's
This
the
is the
sword
mount.
and the little shield.
This is the mount for this guy.
Oh, that's really nice.
Head.
Have you thought about experimenting with resin printers?
I've thought about it, but A, I don't have the room, and B, I don't want to deal with the mess.
That's the biggest.
I'll sell
like-
you mine.
Yes, I don't use mine because it's just I feel like it's way too much effort, and I've got printers at work.
Yeah,
I
that
thought I
dude.
had one with it mounted.
You've got the dream, Kirby. You don't need to print anything at home ever again. Why bother?
No, I think Brad means spare room in his bed on his bed.
I could be tempted yet.
I mean, you know, if we all end up at Brad's hotel drinking moonshine, what happens in Brad's hotel room stays at Brad's hotel room.
No,
Or we'll
it
chat about it the next day.
No.
It's like the hangover, innit? It's like, except for herpes, that shit comes back.
I've done one of those dinosaurs just to.
Yeah, this was super fun.
God, no, I did the skull. Have you seen that guy that's doing the full size T Rex 3D print?
Yes, I have. That's insane.
Absolute mad lad.
He must be using the like Gigabot or whatever it's called.
He's doing it in like chunks about this big, and then he's just gluing them all together.
And then just like a belt sander to get them all smooth.
I think he's using like a chemical smoother, like
Oh, yeah.
Way
I
back
can't
when
remember what the stuff is called.
I was part of something called the Great Duck Project. It was, I don't know, a thesis or something, but it was like, send us, print out this piece of a giant rubber duck and mail it to us. And, they had pinholes and fixtures and stuff, and we're going to put it all together. And with all the variation and all the parts, it was impossible to put together.
I was just going to say, dude, the tolerance stack will be...
Yeah. Like
They do
I
that
don't know-
every year at, I think, MRF, which is the Midwest Rep Rap Festival. Oh, here's a video of the guy doing his thing. Like, I've always wanted to undertake a project like this, but I feel like I'd print 2 pieces and be bored.
Yeah.
That's
Like,
my problem. If I go too big, by the time I get round to making progress, I'm bored.
Yeah. See, it looks like those parts are actually hollow, and then he's just welding it with a 3D pen.
That's a good way of doing it.
3D pen or soldering iron?
It looks like a 3D pen.
Interesting.
I've got one and never used it. Yeah, he's using CR10s.
How many?
I think he's on TikTok. I think I can find.
Kirby loves some TikTok.
Oh, TikTok's so good. Yeah, here's the progress updates of his T-Rex. Named it Penny. Like, the finish of it is really good. I think he's spending a lot of time sorting out his seams in that. But yeah, I've done a really big print over multiple printers, and that was always my problem was, the printers don't print the same. They always slightly out. But I think if you're using just the same printer and you tune in your settings and get your scaling done.
Yeah, I never try to use multiple printers for one thing that's going to fit together.
Like, even
I have together that were done on 2 printers.
Even at work where we're printing with, we've got 14 printers. If there's a customer's order, we'll try and print that order on one printer all at once, versus trying to scatter it across different printers because of this exact same problems. Even, whether you got a $200 machine or a $500,000 machine, you have the same problems. Plastic's plastic. It shrinks different. That's just mad. And the fact that that's all printed. Pass on the floor.
Does it just get stored out in the yard?
I have no clue. And he VR sculpted this T-Rex as well.
Wait. No.
Yeah. So
What?
far of this Shape Lab VR sculpted T-Rex. I saw something about the sculpting here.
Wow. Right, I'm impressed.
Yeah, I bow out. Man's got me beat.
That's absolute mad.
I have Gravity Sketch for my VR set, and I really want.
That's where Rachel works for. Nah.
Oh.
Now you mentioned she works for Gravity Sketch.
All right. I need an excuse to use it. I need to figure it out.
You should drop her a line, and I'm sure she'll chat with you.
I also
Those tiny
want
arms.
more of my work people to have oculi.
So this is what Rachel's trying to kind of do. Is she's a lot of the people that use Gravity Sketch are artists and creatives, people doing quite organic stuff, and she wants to try and bridge the gap and get more engineers and designers like that getting involved with the VR Gravity Sketch.
Yeah, I really want Solidworks to keep working on that because they have like one eDrawings like add-in or something that works for like the HTC headsets, so it doesn't even work on mine. So there's no way to get Solidworks into VR at this point.
You've obviously been to, you've obviously been to the Boston headquarters.
Sure.
And you've been in that like very fancy room in the fancy
cave. Yep. Yeah, I mean
that blew me away.
That's $1 million room where I need something that fits on my $300 Oculus.
So this is the duck.
Oh thing. Yeah, this is what I was talking
it's like any excuse to use VR is always a good excuse. Like I'm trying to find a reason to buy VR again.
Don't know.
I mean,
sorry.
they're getting more expensive soon, so do it now. I'm pretty sure VR.
Tell Sarah quick, Kirby. The price is only going up.
Yeah, the prices are only the thing is, I've got, and I really wish PlayStation would open up their VR to be able to just plug it into a computer, especially now that the PSVR 2 is coming out. Because I've got the PSVR, and I just want to use it for Flight Simulator, which means it's just the headset. I don't need controls or anything. I just need to spin my head around. So I'm looking at the Quest, which is the cheapest one.
That's what I have, the Quest 2. It's great. I think it's probably the market leader at the moment. So
I need to look at, because I know to play more powerful games on that, you got to get that fancy cable to plug it into your computer.
Yeah, if you do Steam VR games, you need a cable. There's a setting for if your computer is plugged into your router, like hardwired, you can do it over the air. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, because I just want to use it for playing Flight Simulator, which is on Xbox Game Pass. And it's got plug-in for VR, but I think I'll need the cable to run the VR through it because it's. I haven't looked too deep on how it all works, but I've got a friend who's got the Steam VR set, the Valve, and he lent it to me at one point, and I messed around with it a little bit, but I want to borrow it again and actually play Flight Simulator using it and see if it does make much of a difference. But I mean, if PlayStation can let me use my PSVR, just plug it into my computer, that would be it. That's all I need. So, the duck project, how many pieces were there?
470 something. I just closed it. Like an idiot. Yeah, so I'm trying to find like pictures of the final product, and I'm wondering if they were like too embarrassed of the final product to publish any.
Unless Google Images just has it.
Yeah.
The Great Duck Project.
Great.
So was it a hollow shell on the outside? So it was hollow in the inside.
Yeah, here we go.
It'd be a bit shit if you just got a cube to print.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
All right. So yeah, this one right here could be mine. It kind of looks like the shape of mine.
You see, like this is one thing that I've been trying to convince to do at 3D Experience World is a project like this where tons of parts have been printed by different members of a community and then is built by those that attend 3D Experience World. The kind of project that I'm thinking of would be really good is a magic wheelchair project where you get all of the main bits assembled off-site, get them all brought in, and then during 3D Experience World over those 3 days, whoever wants to come and chip in, put in a couple of screws, paint something. Basically, I want people like GP and Manish and there's people in suits to come and paint things and like really get involved with the maker stuff.
We did the design of the wheelchair.
And then those that have attended all 3 days have seen something go from nothing to something being revealed on the final day as like a final project.
I like
That's something that I've been trying to get them to do.
And they've sort of done that like at headquarters. They did an airplane.
I know Luke was part of that when he did that. I think it was Mike Patey that was building the plane.
Yeah,
someone else.
A couple rivets.
Yeah, it's that kind of thing of like you at the end of it, everybody feels like they were part of it.
That'd be awesome.
Everybody did something to achieve that end goal, and I feel like you can get people's emotional attachment to it a lot more versus while I enjoy doing builds with Jonny and that and revealing it to everybody, but I want more people to be involved. I want people. It's just what
like when we did our dragon build, it was nice that Michael from my work got involved because he'd never done anything like that before.
Yeah,
and it was teaching him so many new skills and how to do different things. It'd be nice to bring that to World and see all the guys in suits getting glue all over them and
Yeah,
This
this is what's happening with this Maker Zone. It was originally like an email that I sent, and I said it would be cool if there was like a maker area where people can make shit while they're at World. You know, it's a good way to, if you've got YouTuber makers promoting it, and then people can go and hang out with their favorite YouTuber and make things, and walk away with something. They're going to learn something from it.
It could be like a raffle or something, because there's
way too many. They're trying to put something together, but they're kind of reluctant on giving away free passes to World.
Yep.
Right. Even though I have 3.
Yeah, and like the one thing I suggest is like just give them a day pass. I mean, you give day passes and free tickets to students.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You know, what's the difference? You know, makers are just students that aren't in university. They're learning off YouTube. They're learning their own way.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it's like without meals. I don't know what the big expense per person is at World.
Yeah, it's that
Just venue hire, innit?
Yeah, it's the I wouldn't say the meals, but I think it's like, you got access to these sessions. But I mean, if you get a day pass, it just takes you into the partner pavilion in the general session. That's like going to Comic-Con, because
you always used to.
You can spend a full VIP pass for Comic-Con and spend thousands of dollars for it, where you can go to any panel and meet any celebrity type of thing, or you can just get your cheap day pass, which allows you into the main hall and do a bit of shopping and, you know, maybe go see a panel if you can queue up for it, or pay extra for a photograph. You know, a pay-per-view system with makers, like if there's a maker session going on, you can pay per view.
Yeah, good. A little more logistics, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it does seem like they've really dumbed down and pulled back a lot. I think they lost a lot of money in Atlanta.
I'm sure. I mean...
And you can see they've kind of pulled back a lot of their budget for this year, and I think they're trying to start up small again.
Yeah.
Walk before you can run again.
I don't know how many sponsored exhibitors there have been in previous years, but it's got to be over 100, right?
I think so. There's quite a few. But the one stat that really shocked me is that the one, I think it was Chen Lu, she was saying that usually her whole team can go, but this year they're only giving passes to 30% of her team.
Really? That is shocking.
Yeah, so they've really pulled back on staff passes, and the sponsored travel has been pulled back a bit, and they've been a bit more sparing with that. I think they're trying to recover a bit and trying to soft launch in-person World.
They've got to get some confidence back in it. They lost a lot.
Yeah. In planning the dinner, I have no idea how much the hybrid conference is going to affect headcount, and I'm sure neither do they.
I mean, you've got 2 definites here, even though we don't have tickets. There's 2 definites here.
I'll do mine before the 21st of January when the price increases.
Perfect. Yeah. What I really need, what I need to get out there is sponsorships.
Yes.
Speaking of sponsorships, there's Heather. 120 sponsors will probably be the most I've seen at World.
Yeah, and I think this year, God, do I have that data?
Because that's one thing that really blew me away about the CAD Monkey Dinner was the amount of support you were getting from SolidWorks, and you had the little presentations as well.
Yeah, and that's something I need to probably pitch pretty soon.
I think
is getting to cover. The dinner tickets are definitely not cheap, I know, but it covers about half. So the rest.
You know what? I feel like it's worth it. The one thing that really shocked me, it's not with the user group special event. Back when it was in LA, the user group, as a user group leader, you got a free pass to it. But if you wanted a +1, it was $100.
Yeah.
And I really didn't feel like that $100 was worth it, because, to let my wife come and go as well, because there's no way she would have eaten and drank $100 worth of food and drink. Where what your price is set at, I feel like that's worth it. I definitely know I could drink that much.
Yeah.
Easy.
And like my price are kind of set more by feel. Like, what would be something that is reasonable?
Yep.
I should probably do more math, but
no, but it's what's enough to help you cover costs, but what's not too much to put people off.
exactly. But that is assuming a decent number of sponsorships. So get the word out there.
I mean,
everyone here, that's your job now.
I mean, the other night, me and my wife drank $450 worth of alcohol in one night. So
What?
Do you get a pay rise I don't know about?
Do you need to
it was for her birthday. But it was at a concert, so like the prices were very expensive and very, very inflated.
So not $450 worth of alcohol, but you spent $450 on some alcohol.
Yeah, it was $45 worth.
We drank way too much. But it was great. Great fun.
Yeah, you got to do it every now and again.
Yeah. Like Jonny and I know, like the amount that we drank at my bar, Jonny, that was worth the ticket to CAD Monkey.
I don't know if we can get quite that wrecked at CAD Monkey. I'm not sure it's socially acceptable.
No, we get on a good buzz at CAD Monkey, and then we take it elsewhere.
At the after party.
Sure.
Yeah, we know our way around Nashville, which is good.
That was also another feature of early dinners. There was an after party. I needed a rooftop. I wanted a rooftop bar for the after party after the reservation-based dinner, and that's kind of gone out the window.
Don't worry.
I mean, you got Narnia, you've got Jason Aldean's.
That was Jason Aldean's was good.
Yeah.
Narnia. Dan knows about Narnia, I'm sure. Yeah.
little too well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Heather was saying
Nashville was the one world that I attended with zero expectations for the city.
We didn't research, did we?
Didn't look at anything. We just let's go and have fun. And the night that we walked past Broadway,
dude,
we were blown away by it.
It was
and we were like,
Star Wars, wasn't it?
we had to be up at 7 a.m, and this was midnight, and we just landed, and we fought every fiber in our being to just go out.
Go home. It was so a Chewie we're home moment, wasn't it?
Yeah. We saw pictures of the street with neon lights, but when we walked down it, because we were dropped off at the Omni by the Uber, and we had to kind of walk past it and down a little bit to get to our Airbnb. And it was nuts.
We turned onto main Broadway, and we were like, "Man, I wasn't expecting this, but I'm happy we're here."
Mm-hmm. If it was a little warmer, I'd be happy, but it was still fantastic.
It doesn't stop us from, because I rented a convertible and we still put the top down. It was freezing.
Put the heater on as a token gesture.
It worked. We were quite toasty. We looked like tourists. We were playing country music out loud.
Dude,
with the top down.
Love it.
Nashville sparked my interest in country music, and now I'm obsessed.
Yes.
Really? Oh boy.
Yep.
What's your favorite? What's your idea of good country music?
I don't know. But Kirby, news for you.
What?
If you go on the digital radio here, there's now a station called Absolute Country. Try that tomorrow.
I must look that up. Because I'm stuck on Kiss FM, and that's
Absolute Country. It's not always great, but sometimes it's just what you need on the way home.
But it's absolute.
Yeah.
Country. No, but this, I'm really looking forward to World. I'm looking forward to hang out with all those that have joined us tonight.
Sure.
Hanging out with you, Dan, again. And if your wife joins and your kid joins, I'm sure we'll have a lot of fun. Here's the spicy question: is do you want them to come with?
I do, but I want them to come with and have a good time, not just.
Oh no, I totally agree. Jonny's bringing his girlfriend. The original plan was my wife was going to join, but we decided we'd rather use that leave because I get what's called special leave, so it doesn't take any of my days out of work to go to World. So for her, she's got to take leave days to go, and it's kind of, she'd rather use those leave days for other trips that we have planned throughout the year. But yeah, it is fun when you get to bring your other half into this world that it's kind of like a second like world that you kind of interact with daily.
Yeah.
No,
I love that she's become so well known. Like,
yes.
Yeah. What's there to say? The thing about Nashville is that it's about music, not all country. Any of the pubs can have anything from honky tonk to rock and roll, blues, but they won't play Metallica, Heather.
They did.
As much as I asked,
you were just too drunk to know.
They eventually did. I really just love to see if they'll be staying a few days. Go to Memphis. I'm down.
go see
If you're in
Graceland.
a hot location for studio, it is really a good hot location for musicians and that. The modern country is not my thing. What really blew me away about it is that all the bars play their music on speakers outside. So, like, as you walk past each bar,
Very good.
there's different music. And when you're standing at the traffic lights waiting for the traffic, everybody's just dancing and having a good time. I cannot wait to get back to that.
Cheers, Kirby. I know what you're.
Well, I was
referring to.
researching venues. I came across some just incredible places that I really want to check out if I have time this year. There's like
You'll have to take us along.
5-story bars, a stage on every level, and there's like this big. There's a place called the Wild Horse that I actually really kind of wanted to host at, but it's basically, it looks like it used to be a theater. Like it's a big ground floor and then a bunch of balconies, and it's got all kinds of games and stuff. We got to check it out. They just weren't responsive enough to me.
We just gotta go bar hopping again.
Yeah.
Like Jonny and I, we'll just go to the same watering holes as last time.
Oh, dude, we have to go back to some of them. For sure.
Narnia.
So I'll look for new things.
Yeah, I think this is a perfect place to call this one.
All right.
Now that we're all
Pleasure,
excited
Dan.
for
Thanks,
Worlds, because every episode leading up to this, leading up to World, is going to be about World and getting excitement. We're going to get Mike Puckett back in to chat
Yes,
about
we're booked.
the CSWE event. Hopefully, he doesn't curse the event, because last time we had a 2-hour chat with him, getting all excited about Atlanta, for then 2 hours later
2
get an
hours
email
later.
saying it's cancelled. So hopefully he doesn't curse us again. But we'll be chatting about the CSWE event and what he's got planned. We're going to have some exciting things. We're going to have shirts and all sorts of stuff to get donations for Magic Wheelchair. Hopefully by the end of the year we'll have the shirts live so people can buy shirts, and all the proceeds for those shirts.
They'll be live by the end of Sunday.
Speaking of
party's
shirts,
out. I'm sorry.
this is last Monkey Dinner shirt. Get yours this time around.
Dan, while we've got you, can we litter CAD Monkey with drink coasters that have our faces
Oh,
on?
dude, these are so good.
I mean, as long as you put them face down so they don't scare anybody. But yeah, definitely.
No, they don't have our picture on, so you're okay. Actually, some of them do.
Yeah, we ordered these for Atlanta. We got thousands of them. We've never used them.
I've got to find the ribbons I bought 4 years ago, because I think at World 2020 I bought enough ribbons for 2 years. I got to find them.
We're doing a Core Podcast badge flare as well.
Nice.
You know, Heather, it was the DriveWorks beer mats that made us realize we need beer mats.
Yeah.
Let's go check the red phone booth, Jonny. Apparently that's quite good.
Oh, I'm
It's a speakeasy. I found that in my travels too. It's awesome.
There's an area called Printers Lane from Broadway. I'm going to go check it out. Got so many bars to go to.
I'm sure we'll make it round them all.
Too bad your Saturday night isn't free, honestly.
I mean,
We'll make time after CAD Monkey. We'll take you out.
you know, Sunday is it's a long day. We can sleep in a bit.
Be fine.
But Dan, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on here. We're all excited for the CAD Monkey Dinner. Jonny's going to put the link in for those that haven't got their tickets yet.
Please,
I need to send it to some people as well to make sure they get their tickets as well.
Spread the word.
Jonny,
I spent all of yesterday making these graphics so I can, do some professional looking tweets and marketing. So look for the fancy ads coming out soon.
I will keep an eye out, and if you want to see them as well, if you haven't already, which I think most of the people that are joining us tonight, go give Dan a follow. He runs the Boston Swagger as well, so if you're in Boston. You know what really inspired me this year is Joe Lance. He surprised everybody at 3D Experience World 2022 when suddenly he was there, the only person to attend 3D Experience World 2022. But he surprised Jonny and I as well by attending. We hosted the UK regional user group event in September, August.
One of the two.
No, it was September. Heather was in the UK, and we lined it up. It's like, yeah, Heather, let's do a user group regional event at the DriveWorks head office. And who popped his out of the closet was Joe Lance. He told no one he was coming to the UK, and he just joined us.
I was behind me. I was gobsmacked.
But what that really inspired me is that if you're traveling to a city, if you're going somewhere different, try and see if there's a user group there. And if there is, try and link up with that user group leader and try and organize a meeting with them. I'm planning to do that with Michael. I'm going to get him to work while I'm in Australia.
Excellent.
But yeah, like if anyone's in the Boston area, get hold of Dan, try and do a meeting.
Yeah.
Maybe Iron Swag.
The Iron Swag. We're probably going to have one in March.
We'll try and
our first post-COVID meeting, which wasn't really in last November. We got a dozen group leaders from all over the country to just come to this one meeting, just because it was the only in-person meeting that had been put on for 2 years. That was a great time.
Yeah, it is great hanging out for events that aren't World. Hanging out together,
More of them.
Before COVID, we all just saw each other once a year, but now I feel like during COVID, we've all been wanting to kind of meet up and hang out and do things together in between. We just miss hanging out. But yes, if you want to follow Dan, he's Megahertz. That is such a smart Twitter handle. Boston Swag as well.
I've just been informed that the kid has been watching this whole time and is now just yelling for me.
Oh, I hope he's liked and subscribed.
So do I. If you haven't got a YouTube account, Dan, you know what you're doing now.
We're thinking about making him an email address just for things that apply to him instead of us. A lot of his birthday gifts have come to our email, stuff like that. So he might actually have a YouTube account sooner than later. I
mean, it makes sense. Soon he'll be posting content, doing gaming.
Yeah.
It's a digital.
Just out of interest, who's he going to subscribe to first?
Frankly built.
No. Fair.
You know what, Jonny? We're not that big.
Oh, we're not. We know that. That's how we don't understand why we get invited places.
Yeah. We're doing this for others, not for us. It has made these relationships more important. Hanging out together, which is great. I feel like I've learned a lot more about people by hanging out in these events.
For sure.
World. There's so many people at World. You don't have time for everybody.
He always has time for me.
They're opening up beta events again. They're opening up launch events again. It's coming back. We're getting there.
One more year, we'll be back where we were. It's like nothing happened, I reckon. Yeah.
There's this podcast called Case 63, and it's just this kind of sci-fi podcast that you should check out. It's 10-minute episodes. And it's the weird world post-COVID that ended up, COVID was the little bunny virus, and then came the real one.
Yeah, we were at World when we were kind of like, don't drink Corona, you know, kind of laughing about it.
Corona, didn't I? Everyone was like, "Oh, you got Corona? Oh God!" And I was like, "Hey." And then shit hit the fan.
Later, it's just train wreck. But yeah. Like I said, Dan, it's been a pleasure. Let's wrap this one up. If you want to follow me, I'm at KJ Designs 365.
At Kessel Run Creations for me.
Yes. On Instagram, we are at The Core Podcast. Our contact on Facebook, we are The Core Podcast with the O's 0. On Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok, we are at The Core Podcast. Finally got those ones nailed. Where's my thing?
You got to stand it.
Yeah, we chose a name first, promoted it, and then decided to get the handles.
Yeah, not bad.
Not much forward thinking. But who needs forward thinking when we can have fun?
No, it was a drunk evening, wasn't it, that Kirby? And then
No, it was a drunk day. It was midday as well.
Oh, yeah, it was. It was a national holiday.
Yeah, good fun. But thank you very much for everybody that's joined us in the chat. It's been an absolute pleasure hanging out with you guys and hanging out with you, Dan, chatting about CAD Monkey, getting us all ready and hyped up for World. I think we're all excited to be in the same room together, having a good time, having a couple of drinks, high-fiving, and yes, I'm looking forward to that.
Rubbing our fingers all over each other's faces.
Yes, I've missed that so much.
It's the human
Some people
contact that I
try, right?
crave.
It's the human attention we all crave.
Yeah. Just licking out.
It's not the same through a screen.
No, I mean I could try, but yeah, it just doesn't feel the same. I don't
You
feel
got
the warmth.
fingerprints on your camera, man.
I didn't touch my camera. I was smart.
joking.
I'm not touching.
Excellent. But yes, thank you very much for everybody for joining. Thank you for joining us, Dan. It's been a fantastic episode.
Thank you, fellas.
Yes, and we'll see you guys in the next one.
All right.
Yeah.
Bye.